Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to CC Portland. Thanks for being here. I'm Patrick Short. I'm co-owner and general manager here, and round of applause for Jay and Johanna for helping us out on the board. Without them, you wouldn't have enough on board to enjoy the show. So they helped. Cool. So a couple things about being here. First, this is very serious. This is being streamed via Zoom and then to YouTube. So it is live. By being here, you accept that your image may be used for promotional purposes in perpetuity by our organization with no compensation. Agreed? Yes! Cool. Thank you very much. Second, and this is really important and very serious, this is a student showcase. And the word student implies that these people are not professional. They're great. I think you're going to find out how good the students are in these classes. But they're still students, and so this is a no heckling zone. We're here to support, yes? Yeah! Awesome. Great. Thank you very much. So for all of your informational needs, and Carl will repeat this website about 30 times tonight, it's portlandcomedy.com for everything here at CSC Portland. We're producers of comedy sports. We've been doing that improv show, based like a sporting event, for 30 years without missing a weekend. That streak is still alive. It's so many weeks in a row. Very hard. But come and check that out if you can. And then we have a plethora of classes. That's a big word because we have a lot of classes, including improv and stand-up with Carl Wolfson starting again in just a couple of weeks. And there are spaces available, and you should sign up. Because if they did it, you can do it. Seriously, everybody can. Everybody starts at their own level and rises gloriously from that level. That's the beauty of this art form. Carl Wolfson has been doing live stand-up comedy for over 40 years. It's like 57 or 80 and counting. I don't know, but it's over 40 years. He's a host of shows on KPOJ and KPAM, Air America here in Portland. He's an awesome, awesome person, and he's talking over me right now. So please welcome your host for tonight and their teacher, Carl Wolfson.
Thank you, Patrick. Please welcome for Patrick, everybody at Portland Sports. 30 years, ladies and gentlemen. Before those 43 years of live comedy, Patrick,
yes,
I was doing dead comedy. That's the thing. Oh, you want to start the show with a groaner. That's the way to go. Thank you. Thank you for showing up tonight. How many here to support a friend or family member? They're supportable. They're wonderful. I have top three classes this summer, and you'll see a mixture, some from each of the class, and I just think they're great, and thanks for showing up. I'm actually very nostalgic about comedy. I've been doing it for 43 years and over 8,000 shows. That's a lot, and being nostalgic, I've been thinking a lot. I was on Alan Thicke's show, Thick of the Night, every week, and Alan passed away suddenly. I was on Joan Rivers every other week, and Joan passed away suddenly. I kind of wish I'd been on The Apprentice. Anybody got a trumper in their family? Anybody? We all have like one. Our family has one. She's a pain in the ass. Aunt Fern lives in Texas. Imagine that. And she's 94. She's always complaining. Nobody ever calls her, so I got her one of those "How am I driving" bumper stickers. And those are my 2 test jokes to see if you're a good crowd. And you are. That's really good. You're not clapping for Trump, are you? You're a little behind. No,
that's a Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah. Actually, I asked my students or suggest to them that they start their act with the first line explaining kind of who they are, what their attitude is, what the audience will see from them. I think one example I give is Wanda Sykes. You know Wanda Sykes, she's incredible. One of her latest TV specials was taped in New York, and her opening line was, "If you voted for Donald Trump and paid to see me, you fucked up again." With that, I'm not going to do much time tonight because we have 9 acts on the show. They're all just terrific. I love every one of them, and you will too. Coming to the stage now, someone who's been with me for a number of classes. I just think she's the best Not that I judge one comic over the other, they're all the best. She's also extremely talented. I like to call her a diva. Please welcome Hannah Miller, ladies and gentlemen. Number 12.
Super old school, you know I need a stool. No shade to Carl. That's the first I've heard of that we should come up here and say one line about who we are. So, for the sake of the class, my name's Hannah, and I'm pretending to be a sports fan to get a ring from my frat bro. Thank you. He gave me this jersey today, and he told me I have to wear it every Sunday through next year. So, that's fun. They told me I could be myself when I got on the dating apps that didn't get me anywhere. No, any burners here? Anyone from Burning Man? Nobody? Oh, really? They didn't make it back? No. I thought you guys smelled too good. I don't know. Have you guys heard of the love languages? There's 5 of them. It's like touch, quality time, acts of service, stuff like that. Well, I wanted to know what my fiance... Thank you so much. Yes, I wear this jersey every single day until he proposed. No, so I wanted to know what his was, so I asked him what his love languages was, and he told me it was quality time. And then he asked me mine, and I told him it's gifts and services, obviously. And then I heard on a podcast that you give the love language that you wish to receive, like subconsciously. And I think that's true. Like, I'm always buying him little things and doing things for him, like microwaving his dinner. And because his is quality time, he's always just there. Well, that's his part. No, but he's a good guy. We've had kind of a tough year because I was diagnosed with cancer late last year. And what I've realized going through this process is that I think that I love when people feel bad for me. It's like all of my friends and family have sort of morphed into the people that I've always wanted them to be. Which is kind of like maids and butlers, like for lack of a better term. No, but when my doctor first told me, I was a little confused because I'm from Portland, and she told me my diagnosis, and I was like, I'm not a Cancer, like I'm a Capricorn, I'm driven. And she was like, no, you have cancer, like breast cancer. And I was like, oh my God, phew, I thought I'd been reading the wrong horoscope for 32 years. I'd have to change my whole career path. But no, just regular cancer. Well, everybody has it. I'm not special. No, but when my doctor told me, she was like, the way we're going to treat this is with radiation and chemotherapy. And so I went home and I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, radiation, chemo, I've heard of that. And then I get on TikTok. And you think your TikTok's weird, like you say Papa John's and you get a Papa John's ad. Well, mine knew I had cancer. And I don't know if you've heard of this, but there's this thing called cancer remedy, #cancer remedies on TikTok. And I was scrolling through that. And there's this guy on a beach and the wind's blowing and he has on a Star Wars shirt and he's saying like you just need to eat apricot pits. They have cyanide in them. And you can't get them in the US, but you can ship them from Canada and they'll cure your cancer. And I'm like, that's way easier than chemo. Like, my doctor is like not smart. I don't know who this lady is. And then there was another one that was a pastor, but she was like a really hot pastor. She had a bikini on and she was just doing this dance and she was pointing at words and she was like, you just have to pray. And I was like, that's easy. So I go to my doctor and I'm like showing her, I'm like, look at TikTok. Like, and then she's like, that's so frustrating. Like those aren't real. And I was like, well, we're on the internet, ladies. So she went home and she put on a bikini and she made one about chemotherapy. She did a little dance. And then I saw it, it went viral, and I was like, I get it now. That'll work. No, but there's some cool things about my cancer. Like for one, my chemotherapy medication sponsors the show Survivor. And as a big Survivor fan, like, I just think that's really cool. That they're like an ally, you know? No, but you know, it's not all bad. Like, the reason I got it is because I have this gene called BRCA2, BRCA2. You may have heard of it. Angelina Jolie has it. She's like their spokesperson. It's like an elite group. But my mom gave it to me, and so I've had cancer now twice, and my sister, she didn't get it. Same parents, she didn't get the gene. She's maybe had like a sprained ankle. I don't know, I'm not keeping track. But matter of fact, she's had like, my sister's had a really amazing life, my older sister. She was kind of always like the perfect child. Like she was an amazing athlete in high school, got a full ride to college, great job at Nike, big house, nice husband, works out twice a day. And the thing is, though, nobody likes someone like that. You know, with no hardships. It's not fair that God blessed me with all this character. And then for her. It's not fair. No, but when I was first diagnosed, I was really sick, and I had to stay at the hospital for a few days, and my friends were coming to visit me, and my doctor told me, like, you can't have kids, like you can't, maybe we could freeze your eggs, but you can't carry it. And my friends were all like, oh, Hannah, like, I'll be your surrogate. Everyone's volunteering for free. All my friends who come to visit, I'll carry your baby, I'll carry your baby. And now it's been like 6 months, and since I'm doing better, it's like, everyone has amnesia. You know, I'm engaged, and I'm like, you know, it might be in a couple years, and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about, I know you said that. And then I asked my sister, I'm like, do you remember you said you'd be my surrogate? And she, you know, she denied it, and I said, no, you said if I pay for Orange Theory for the rest of your life, you would carry the child. She was like, okay, sick, that's actually a really good deal, I'll definitely do that. And you know, like, I like that, because the thought of one of my friends, you know, carrying my kid makes me feel kind of guilty, but something about the thought of my sister doing it, you know, gaining weight. I don't know if justice is the right word. No, but she's good. That's all I got. I love you guys.
Hannah Miller, ladies and gentlemen. Love that t-shirt. Any sports fans here? One. Welcome to Portland. Okay.
Go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers. You have your time. I'm pretty excited. I got a call today, and I was asked to join the Pac-12, and it's Oregon State, Washington State, and me. We're gonna have a good season, I think. Any Beaver fans here?
Yeah.
It's about right. About Washington State, any Cougs here? I have not performed in Pullman, although I performed in Richland, Washington, which was enough for me. Pretty conservative place. I was doing my dog and cat material. A woman in the back yelled out she had a lab. I said, what kind? She said, meth. And always fun. I go to all the hot spots. Joining us now is someone I really enjoyed getting to know. He's extremely funny, and one thing that I learned early on, started the Comedy Store in 1980. That's Mitzi Shore, the late Mitzi Shore's Club. She said the comedy stage here is America's town hall, because you'll see all different points of views, and we encourage that. People tell their own stories, and that's what it's about. Please welcome Balki Kadarapu, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my fucking God. Just because I'm dark, wicked smart, and a baby elephant was a ring bearer at my wedding? You think I'm Indian origin? Shame on you. So presumptuous. You should move to Florida. At least across the river to Vancouver. Nah, who am I kidding? I was born in a remote, fictional village called Bollywood. And the day before I was born, all the midwives illegally immigrated to US. So a monkey and a cobra delivered me as a baby. And I was coming out of my mother's womb. I had this headset on. And the first words out of my mouth, just like on that hospital bed, were, "Thank you for calling Xfinity. How can I provide excellent customer service?" And I said that with the thickest, heaviest Indian accent the first day when I was born, so this joke could be fine for you today. Thank you. So I moved to America several years ago, and as soon as I landed at the airport, as I was walking out of the airport at the exit, there was this guy standing, and it's like, he gave me a job at Microsoft or Intel. Like, take this job. Like I said, "Thank you, Mr. Bill Gates. That's very nice of you, but why me?" And he said, "Balki, the way you speak and the fact that you're wearing a headset means you'll be good at this computer shit, or at least you'll tell me where to get some spicy chicken vindaloo." All right, I'll tell you. It's called Swagat, a few streets from here. Tell them Balki sent you, they'll give you 2% discount on 500 or more. So the next day when I arrived at work, my boss delivered even great news. He told me, "Because of you, we fired 3 middle-aged American men and put them on streets so we could pay you minimum wage." So thank you, that's so heartwarming. After a while, I wanted to become a white manager, so I went to a conference. Over there, I met this whitest dude I ever met, Randy. Randy was whiter than Steve Martin's hair. And he was white, not just in color, but in true spirit. After being respectful and curious and annoying for a while at the same time, you know the type. He went away. But not before doing one of these. I know that's not even Indian shit. So he went away for 30 minutes, came back, sweating, smiling with sense of pride, and with him, sure enough, was there another Indian guy. He's like, "So Balki, do you know him?" I took a few seconds to calculate my next move. And then I hugged them both really hard, started crying, and said, "This is my twin brother. We were separated during the Great Elephant Stampede of 2003 in Bollywood. Thank you for reuniting us." And as you can guess, Randy is still recovering in a hospital bed from the shock. So after a while, I created my dream to become a US citizen. So I applied for the interview, prepared day and night for questions like, how many stars on the flag? Who is the president? Is climate change real? At the the interview though, this guy was like, Balki, I know you prepared and memorized for everything, but forget all of that. Just say 3 things that only a true American would. And thanks to Randy, I was prepared. I said, traffic on I-5 sucks sweaty balls. I fucking hate IRS. How is the weather today? And that's another true story of how I became a citizen. Thank you. I'm not done. So on August 7th, 12:45 p.m. Pacific time, I lost all my will to live. No, that's not the day Trump started his campaign. It was the day I saw a grown-ass middle-aged man wearing Crocs shoes in public. So I screamed at him and said, before you scar any children for life, just go back home. He was concerned and started to explain, the Balki, these are very comfortable. I use them for my gardening. I said, shut up, Randy! These shoes are not only a disgrace to me, our neighborhood, they're a disgrace to the whole human race. Take them home and burn them right now. Yes, Crocs are making a comeback. And as responsible US citizens, we all have to fight that. Before we fight global warming and rising oceans and the possibility of a Republican president, we need to fight this contagion first. So anyone know why Crocs are so popular? Anyone? No, you're a good crowd, you don't know, so. It's the fucking holes. Okay? So the holes are supposed to provide drainage and ventilation. Fucking genius. Who came up with that? Give me a 3-hole punch and any of your shoes, and I'll give you all the ventilation you need. Here's another fact. According to Crocs, the website, your Crocs are cheaper because of the holes. So if they didn't put the holes, they would be $100. And because they save material by putting the holes, they're only $80. You know another way you can save money and a lifetime of humiliation? Don't buy the fucking Crocs. I don't know about you, but all my life, I dreamed about 13 elegantly placed 8mm in diameter, 17mm apart buttholes on shoes. And they're called Crocs. Thanks to Randy, that dream is realized for me now. Speaking of buttholes, is anyone into international chess scandals? DJ put the spotlight so we can make fun of them later. No, so I'll save you some time and tell you about the scandal. So Magnus Carlsen is the world #1 champion, pretty much unbeaten. He was playing a relatively unknown chess player called Hans Niemann. After just 2 moves, Carlsen just resigned and left, and he was very tight-lipped. So the internet geek population went crazy over speculating what happened, and ultimately they pulled the truth. The truth was Hans Niemann was using anal beads to cheat at the game. I have to explain. So first things first, anal beads, before your dirty minds go wondering what they are, they're just a series of scented beads strung together, hopefully with a very strong thread, that good-looking people shove up their asses. in this case, Hans Niemann and a friend was helping him. So a friend, very smart with a computer, was giving vibrating instructions remotely to tell him what to move. I have to explain. So think rook takes knight, sorry. Rook takes knight for knight to checkmate. So just think of so anyway, many of you know, or some of you know my wife. She's lovely, trusting. But every time I go shopping now, I'm like, oh, I'll bring 2% milk. Oh, I'll remember it's organic. Thank you, everyone.
Balki phenomenal, ladies and gentlemen. Balki. You know what's amazing? One more time for Balki.
Yeah!
So far, 8 weeks ago when the class started, he didn't even speak English. So it's unbelievable. He bought anal beads for the whole class for that bit. I think that's how Mike Pence did so well at the last debate, actually. God, I love Portland. Isn't Portland great? I don't care. Portland's having a down dip. It'll come back. I love the diversity. That's why, you go to other places like Kansas or Florida, and, diversity isn't such a big deal. It is here, and I like it. We have my husband and I have a dry cleaner we've used for years, Mrs. Lee, and she's from Korea. Doesn't speak English, but she's hilarious. Several years ago, I took jeans in. You're supposed to point out any stains. There was a red mark right here, and she goes, "Is it the lipstick?" Yeah, it's Portland. A couple days ago, I saw a bulldog in transition. That's exciting. And in 6 weeks, he'll be a pup. And thank you. Some of these you get later. It's all right. When we first moved here, I'm a huge baseball fan. We went to a Beavers game out at I guess it was a PG Park then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Beavers fans?
No, just this.
There's a lot of ways you could take that, but I'm talking about the AA team at the time. And it was great because they brought a group of Native Americans in and sing the national anthem in their native language, and they got the words mixed up, and the game was rained out. So it's Portland, and I don't think you've gotten one of my jokes yet, really. Drink for table one. All right. Coming to the stage now, speaking of sports, he's a good sports buddy of mine. I've enjoyed meeting him in class, terrifically funny. I'm not going to say he's frenetic because he hated me saying that in class, so he's frenetic. And don't tell a comic not to do something. Please welcome Mark Friel, ladies and gentlemen. Come on.
Thanks, Carl. It's funny, the first 5 weeks of an 8-week class, all you learn is there's a microphone holder, and then we get up on stage and you just enhance it. It's 5 weeks of that.
That's
So
275.
yeah, so you guys are lucky tonight. They're getting a little bonus. So I've got a little bit that hopefully is funny, but there's something that happened yesterday that is the funniest shit I think ever, and now you guys get to hear about it. So I don't want anyone who knows me, a few people in the back, but I'm going to pick 3 people to guess my age. Right here. No offense, whatever. 57. 57. Terry. Terry's like 64. Go fuck yourself, Terry. That's fucking horrible. 64. Jesus Christ. You, ma'am, right here.
Well,
Just guess.
I know how old my dad is, and he's right there. And
Okay. Just give me a number.
So let's call you 67.
Oh my God! Oh, what's your name? This blows up the whole joke. So anyway, so I'm driving home last night. Wife calls. Go to New Seasons. I had to get 3 things. I had to get avocados, and I don't know if anyone. I'm a guy. You feel avocados, and it's a too firm. It's not too firm. I feel like I'm in 8th grade on date night. And I had to get romaine lettuce, and then I had to get burrata cheese. So 3 things. Check it out. And the checkout gal's like, right, I'm like, good. And bag, yeah, I'll take a bag. And then she's like, do you qualify? She says something like that, do you qualify? I'm not buying beer, I'm old enough. And it was bewildering. This is literally 24 hours ago. And I'm like, what? She's like, do you qualify for the senior discount? And I'm like, I'm like, what's the age? I'm like, she's like 65. I'm like, 65, so two of you guessed. I'm over. I'm 56. So, fucking thank all of you, I'm done. I'm 56. 65, get that. God! Anyways, that was the free part. So, my name is Mark. I'm a recovering commercial real estate broker. I lease space downtown Portland, which is pretty miserable. But for almost 30 years, I woke up every morning with the 3 S's. Again, I need a lady. Does any lady know what the 3 S's are?
Do. Oh my God.
What?
Shit, shower, and
Shit, shower, and shave, baby. Shit, shower, and shave.
Is this a commercial mortgage
Yeah.
broker? I think my husband's a
Right?
commercial
That's how we
mortgage
started.
broker. It's gotta be the
And once in a while, it was shit, shower, shave, and sex. If I showered and shaved, maybe a little more in glory. But COVID cleared all that out. So you get a shit still, but you don't have to shave, you don't have to shower. It just cleared the whole morning out. And you're like, so it brings up 2 other S's, completely unrelated. I've got 2 S's that bug the shit out of me. And the S's are shampoo and Subarus. You might think those are unrelated. Well, they're not. So shampoo, everyone in this room probably has used shampoo the last 2-3 days. We're Portland, so maybe, a little longer. And I guarantee you everyone has been cut off by a Subaru driver today. Like probably in the last fucking 2 hours, and you've been here an hour and a half. Anyway, shampoo. I just don't get shampoo. It's like, again, I've got my glasses here, but like every shampoo bottle or conditioner or hair product from Johnson & Johnson or L'Oreal or Pantene, everything's in like a 4-point font. It's like, I can't see it. I just can't see it. And I get in every morning, I get in my shower, and I counted it this morning. We have 27 hair conditioner facial products in my shower that I share with my wife. 27, Carl. 27. And I know where my shampoo is. My shampoo's right here. And then the soap, guys, you're done in 2 minutes. But there's 27 damn products. And you just can't read them. You're like, and again, in my home shower, it's fine. What if you're in a hotel? You're in a hotel, you can't, And I was just at my sister-in-law's beautiful house, in her shower. She's got 5 of the same bottles. And they're all the same. So I have to get out of the shower, pouring wet, and put my readers on. I'm not even, this is true. And I put the reader, I'm like, oh, no, not shampoo. Then I go back in the shower, and I'm like, not shampoo. And I'm like the 3rd fucking bottle, and I come out, and it's like, shampoo. Oh my God, and I just dripped it. I don't know. It was a magical moment. And you're in a hotel, and again, you can't see the shampoo. This is funny. So this is what was in my shower this morning. Volumizer, Detangler, Supreme Exfoliating Scalp Scrub. The fuck is that? Vanacream, free of dyes, fragrance, lanolin, parabens, and formaldehyde releases. Also sulfite free. What the fuck are you kidding? It's like Vagisil. Are you gonna I just don't get it. But my favorite is Apres Shampooing Classique. Apres, it's like an après ski. It's like if I'm in Zurich and I've just skied all day and I'm gonna shampoo. Fuck, I just want shampoo and soap. That's all I want. That's all I want. Anyways, enough about shampoo. What really bugs me are Subarus. Subarus bug the living crap out of me. And I realize in a crowd in Portland, Oregon, 100 people there, 95, I don't know. 37 of you drove in a Subaru tonight, so I realize it might be a hostile crowd. That's okay, I'm fine. I'll get over it. But Subarus, #1 rated safety car, great for road trips, great for young kids, incredible mileage, lesbian approved. I'm driving the other day, and it says Lesbro. I swear to God, I just started laughing. I'm working on this bit, and it says Lesbro. Anyways, great, phenomenal cars. There's nothing wrong with them. You know what's wrong with them? I'll tell you. They're filthy. They are filthy. Every single Subaru on the street is just dirty as fuck. It's like they've been through the Sahara race in the Sahara Desert for 1,000 days of dust and sand. I get it if you're in Portland and it's like February or January and it's cold, but in the middle of summer, mix in a wash. And then there's the bumper stickers that coexist. I love you. You're a good person. Keep working weird. Blah, 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 blah. I'm a good person. I believe with all those messages, like be nice to your fellow man. I don't need it on a dirty fucking car. I don't need all your stickers. And then the third thing is the racks. Every Subaru has some sort of rack. It's a Thule rack, it's a whatever, a kayak rack, a canoe rack. You know, I wish they had racks you could put little 4 and 6-year-old kid. How cool would that be? Like if just Johnny and Susie are up there riding in the rack. Oh, I got a Subaru. But you know what's funny? Subaru people, they don't have kids. They're out having fun. They're out having fun. And that's my problem with Subarus is generally they're hiking, they're camping, they're fishing, maybe they're just playing in a hole of mud. I don't know. But Subaru people are having fun. Subaru people are having fun. And I'm just driving my little sedan, fucking my life sucks. So I truly hate Subarus, don't get me wrong. And again, I want to be clear. I haven't said anything about Subaru people drive. I'm just talking about the car. I don't know who's inside the car. I just know that going up Sunset Highway, they're going 61, and you can go 75 just fine. I know if you're fucking going to the intersection, you can just go left, have a little trust. And I'm frenetic, Carl, but it feels good. Not trust, or just the parking lot. I'm going to go left, and then the right blinker. Just today, I literally was just like, I'm like, it's a Subaru, and it's self-fulfilling. When you think it's a Subaru, it is a Subaru. Again, find people. I'm sure they're nice. They go to church, and maybe they're good people. I don't know. Anyways, you've been a great crowd. Thank you so much. Where's the stand, Bo?
Thank you, Mark. Give Mark a round of applause. He rides a Subaru. Keep it going for Mark, my Dodger friend. He's, come on, good friend. So, this place right here has been around for 30 years. Give it up one more time for everyone at Comedy And we have a special event coming up on October 15th.
That's correct.
And where can they find out about this and the other classes?
PortlandComedy.com.
That's right. That's right. Actually, it'll be our second LGBTQ comedy show. And the last one was sold out, so that'll be posted soon on Sunday, October 5th.
Posted soon, it's posted now.
Oh, wow, that's soon, ladies. It's like inflation. It's like unbelievable.
These people can be the first.
You can be the first. I'm going to be on that show along with 4 others who have lots of products in their shower. And thank you as a callback. I think it's really important that LGBT people and comics have great visibility. When I came out to my mother in 1998, when I introduced her to my husband, Gary, we've been together 26 years, thank you very much. And I introduced her to my right-wing mother, and she goes, now which one of you is gay? And which she followed up with, well, we didn't have homosexuals in the 1950s. I said, well, somebody put the fins on those Cadillacs, you know, somebody did those beehive hairdos, Mom. Come on, let's go. I just think visibility is so important because I'm sure there's tons of people in history who were gay, we just didn't know it or don't know it. One of my candidates, Marco Polo, I think, you know, late 17th century, Vandals have sacked Europe, Crusaders have sacked the Middle East, he's off looking for silks and spices. If you're gay in the year 1271, you just want a comfy caftan and a little nutmeg, really. Take the edge off all the bloodshed. Coming to the stage now, so that show is on the 15th of October right here, the LGBTQ Comedy Night, and the Friday before I'll be headlining the Mission Theater fundraiser for the Multnomah County Democrats. So 13th and 15th, each is $20, each worth your time. All right, coming to the stage now. He's just a remarkable guy, and I love him to death. He's a big spirit in the class. He's a terrific improv player as well. Please welcome Denny, ladies and gentlemen. Bring up Denny.
Hi. Thank you for being here on a Thursday. Lots of people. I'm happy to be here. I really enjoy doing this. I think that laughter is one of the most important things in a human's life. It helps us in so many ways. It helps us physically, it helps us mentally, and it's right up there in what I think that we need to do. And I think maybe that's why I like to make people laugh when I can. So I always take a chance when I have the opportunity to try to make somebody laugh. Along with that, doing this gives me an opportunity to have a really safe place to put all of my smart-ass energy. Yeah, because I've been a smart-ass my entire life, right? It's part of making people laugh, but there's something else about it that I don't know exactly what it is, but if I see the opportunity, I have to take it. It doesn't matter if it's an appropriate time or not. If it's gonna make me laugh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take that low-hanging fruit. When I was a child, I was a smart-ass to my parents. I got in trouble. They sent me to school. I was a smart-ass to my teachers. I got in trouble there. Got sent to church. I was a smart-ass to the priest. Got in trouble for that. I was a smart-ass to a nun once. That's a whole story all by itself. I have turned more warnings into traffic tickets than anybody I ever know because I can't help it, right? I can't help it. That's the point, is no matter what the consequences are, I'm gonna be a smartass. If that low-hanging fruit, I'm gonna take it. Here's an example. So, as important as laughter is to me, the only thing that's more important to laughter to me is sex, right? So it's like sex, laughter, weed, food. That's my hierarchy of needs, right? That's what I need for life, right? And I'm doing okay, by the way. But years ago, I dated this woman who said, below job, right? Yeah, right? She, not blow job, she said below job, like below something, right? Consistently, right? Now, I think we all can say that no matter what side of that operation you're on, pronunciation's not the most important thing. And I probably wouldn't even remember it, it's been so long ago, except her thing, what she loved to do was talk dirty. Yeah. And she was awesome at it, unless she used that word. And then it just turned into hilarity for me, but only for me, right? And so it would go like this. It's like, I could only see her once a week because of her job. We could only see each other once a week because of her job. And when we would meet, I would somehow know when it was going to happen. And I would try to wish it away, you know, and I could hear it in her voice, and she'd be like, hey, and I'd be like, oh, not today. Please, not today. And I would look over and I'd be like, yeah, today. And she'd say something like, would you like to have a below job? And I couldn't help it, right? I would just say, like, below what, Nikki? And every time, she never found it funny, ever, right? Every time she would say, again, this is it. This is what you're gonna do right now. You're gonna make a joke now. And I'm like, come on, below job. How am I gonna let that pass, right? And she'd say, is you do this every time somebody offers to below you? And I was like, well, as a matter of fact, I mean, yes. I have to. And then she would leave and I would be sad. And the worst part is that I knew that the next day I was going to see her in a more official capacity, with clothes on. All right. And that was the worst part. So back in that day, I was a good Catholic boy, and I would go to confession every Saturday morning, and then I would do my penance. Took about 90 minutes. And then after lunch, right, I volunteered at the church. I did yard work and handyman stuff and just stuff like that. And that was pretty much the rest of my day. Then at 4 o'clock, I would line up to go in and to get a blessing, right? And that would be the end of the day, and then I would be done. And I knew that at the end of that line, I was going to see Nikki, because she was also there on Saturdays. And her job was to work the door so that only people that were supposed to get in, confession, to get a blessing, could get in and get the blessing. So I wait. My turn came up, I get to the front of the line, and there she was, Sister Nicole Margaret. And she would look at me pissed off and she would say, "No blessing for you, mister." And that's why you should never be a smartass to a nun.
Love it. Thank you. Thank you, Denny. Oh my God. Comedy is so much fun. No one ever said below anymore in the class. It was always below. So I know by the way, bathrooms back that way. Sir, lead the way. Bathrooms are back that way, which reminds me of a great Hollywood story. The great actress Tallulah Bankhead was. Anybody remember Tallulah Bankhead? 3 people my age and over. Okay, great. She was sitting in a public restroom, and she noticed there was no toilet paper, so she knocked on the stall next to her and said, "Do you have any toilet paper?" And the woman said, "No." And she knocked again, and she said, "Do you have any tissues?" The woman said, "No." And then Tallulah said, "Do you have 2 5s for a 10?" At least you know who Tallulah Bankhead is. This is Terry, one of my prize students, 83 years old, ladies and gentlemen. Every class, for 2 classes, his wife Jean has come to support him. She's 95. Give a round of applause. Just about Mark Friel's age, actually. Well, I know our next performer, she has wowed us in class with all of her energy. I hope she goes on for the intermediate class, because she's got the thing, she's got the personality and the style to make it big, and I know she has a big contingent here. Please welcome Stacia Nielsen.
Holy shit, this is really happening. Hi. I am so happy to be here among adults, right? And not my family. So, I have 2 boys, ages 9 and 11, Ronan and Oscar. I got a baby daddy. I got a 120-pound yellow lab, and I got 2 cats. And they all have dicks. My home is the Penis Palace. Very male undercarriage centric, right? So we are talking legions of wiener jokes, ball sack jokes, hair on ballsack jokes, nuts and butts, duck butter, schmagma, dick cheese. You know, you're welcome. Go share that. Go share that with friends and family. You know? And then we are talking scores of jokes about farts, buttholes, poop, pee, and there is so much pee. Despite having 3 toilets and a yard that's used as a urinal half the time, there is an extraordinary amount of random piss splash in my house. It's like every creature with a dick just like walks around like, that doesn't have anything on it. But it was like, so, in case you couldn't tell, I am a middle-aged white woman. I'm a mom. I'm a liberal. We are in Portland, for Christ's sake. But I'm not a Karen, per se. But I sure got the prerequisites. Like, I am capable as fuck of being a Karen. But I think I blow off some of that steam by getting, like, my swears out, right? And also talking like an effeminate gay man. If you haven't seen it, just wait. It'll happen. You'll figure it out. And so I don't swear around my kids, though, right? We don't swear around our kids, do we?
I do.
Right then. And so as soon as my kids leave a room, exit a door, right? As soon as they are out of earshot, I am like, fuck, shit, chuckle, fuck, shit, wizard, thunder, cunt, motherfucker! Dick cheese! However, I did walk into the room while my 2 boys were wrestling a couple of months ago, and Oscar, the oldest, was giving Ronan a wedgie, and like a wedgie of all wedgies. He had like 2 hands, had his underwear so far up his ass, up his back to the back of his neck, right, it was flailing. And he looked pissed. And so as soon as he broke free and like dropped to the ground, I was watching him and he slowly looked over at his brother Oscar. And there's something to know about Ronan. Ronan rode his ox. He can't really say those. So he calls his brother Oscar. But clear as day, he said, Oscar, you are a rat fart motherfucker. Maybe I let a few slip. So, growing up, I had to be funny because I was a fat kid. Any former fat kids? Woo! So I like cupcakes, and I was a Midwestern latchkey kid. So like I'd come home after school, right? I'd have like Cheese Whiz for a snack, throw in some Fruit Loops, mix up some cookie dough or brownie batter for dinner. Nobody's watching, who cares? So it's a little imbalanced. My boobies hadn't come in yet. And so I kind of looked like a pear with 2 little mold spots for titties. My parents did not make this any easier, this fat kid experience. Okay, so I am a psychotherapist, and I have been one for 20 years. And I can tell you with 100% certainty, and this is not just anecdotal, this is fucking science, okay? 100%, all parents fuck up their kids. All of them. We're all fucked up, you're gonna fuck all yours up too. I mean, there's a spectrum, sure, right? But everybody is on it. So my parents called me Little Miss Piggy. Oh, fuck, what assholes, right? And they dressed me up in all pink. They might giggle and point a little bit. And then they fucked shit up even further and they cut my hair really short and they gave me a tight perm. Wow, that is really why I'm here doing the comedy tonight. Okay. And also, so we shop for our clothes at Sears. Do you guys know what Sears is? And we shopped in the catalog. And so for chubby girls, the sizes were not called like plus, pretty plus, like JCPenney and Kmart. You guys know what those are? At Sears, they called those sizes husky. Husky. That's a self-esteem builder, right? So I'd be flipping through the magazine or the catalog and I'd look and there'd be like a skinny model there, right? She's like standing there, long blonde hair, a tailored darling outfit, available in like fucking 17 colors or something like that. And she was like smiling with her arms crossed. She'd be like positioned a full step in front of the fat husky redhead who's like standing in the background with like her arms at her side and like hostage eyes and like a fake half smile. Right? And she's wearing like a similar but like a dumbed down, like a lasty, boxy version of the skinny girl's outfit. And it's available in like 2 colors. Like fucking mint green and piggy pink. So once a year though, we got to go to the department store, which is fucking great. Like Sears had great displays. I mean, so I'd walk in, right? We'd see a mannequin very similar to the blonde in the catalog. And she's like standing there, right, with her friends at her side and potential boyfriends around her. That's my feminine gay, by the way. That's the feminine gay I was talking about. And then right next to this mannequin scene, there'd be like a mucked up, like handwritten sign that says, "Find husky fashions in lawn and garden." So, you head on back. And they had great displays. They really did. There was like a full-size tractor, right? And if you look a little closer, the mannequin sitting on the tractor looks like that fat husky redhead from the catalog. Except she's like glaring in the direction of the skinny mannequin scene. She's got like a hatchet in one hand and a cupcake in the other. So, yeah, so that's it. I mean, I wore pink. My parents dressed me in good pink, elastic, and tucked in shirts, and you figure out real fucking fast how to compensate for that shit, right? But I developed. I grew boobies. My hair grew longer. I refused the fuck out of perms, even when they were in style for a hot second. And I grew into the sexy, voluptuous bitch that you see before you today. And I did what any self-respecting, right, former fat kid seeking validation kid does. I just traveled around Europe and fucked for cupcakes. I had so much fun. I never thought that I would have kids, ever. I was like repelled by kids. Like the smell of them. Ugh, I could smell them like miles away. The sound of them. Oh, they're so loud. Oh my God, if I'd see them, I'd avoid them always. I'd go, ooh. Friends would be like, "Hey, Stacia, do you want to hold my baby?" I'd be like, "No, I don't want to hold your fucking baby." No! But then this biological urge just fucking takes over. It's like this uncontrollable push, right? And then one day you wake up and you're like, "Oh my God, I dream about a baby. And I liked it." Fuck. I go to the store, right? I walk in and I'm like, I smell babies. I hear the babies. And I see the baby down the aisle. And I run to that baby. Hey, can I see your baby? Can I smell your baby? Can I touch your baby? I like babies. So, I mated. And 8.5 months later, I was real uncomfortable. I was like having second thoughts, right? And after my doctor told me that it was too late to abort, I decided that I was gonna Karen my way through to one of my doc's dumb medical assistants and get them to give me some kind of pain relief. Something, right, for the rest of whatever this was, I don't know. And so I would call on the phone, I'd send messages through the portal, right? I'd show up, I'd be like, oh, everything hurts so bad, oh, help me. One day, I got Linda. Linda was the dumbest of them all. We knew it. When I saw her, I was so excited. I was like, oh, Linda. So Linda just kind of looks dumb. So Linda has like a severe underbite and like a peculiar hairline that starts like halfway back. She's got like a lazy eye that like ping pongs randomly. It's a little shocking. She's missing a pinky and she stands like a duck. And I'm like, oh, Linda, I am so uncomfortable. I'm getting these really sharp pains, and I'm getting them in my hips and my butthole. It's like light, I hurt so bad. I was like, I'm gonna need something. I think I'm gonna need an epidural every day until this little asshole comes out. And so Linda looks at me and goes, oh dear, did I mention she's Canadian? I mean, that seals the deal. She goes, oh dear, you should be fine. The baby doesn't come out of your asshole. No shit, Linda. So 11 years later, I'm standing over a clogged toilet, right? For the 276th time. And I'm trying to clear and make my way through 24 wet, molded toilet paper boulders, dropped perfectly so into the toilet, courtesy of my 11-year-old, after he did a terrible job wiping his ass. Like the worst job any human could ever fucking do, ever wiping their ass with an entire roll of toilet paper. Anyway. So I'm standing over the clogged toilet and I got a toilet snake. That's how serious it is. It was a snake. And I'm like cranking it down and I'm mumbling to myself. I'm like, God damn, motherfucking shit wizard, dick cheese. And I had it. And I was like, I'm gonna do some parenting. Walked out. Oscar is out in the living room and I'm like, hey, Oscar, come here. Come here. He's like, what's up, Mom? I'm like, if you ever clog a toilet in this house again, I am gonna dunk your face in distilled shit water before any attempts are made to clear it, okay? And then I took it a little further. This is like the fucked up part, but I wanted it to stick. I wanted it to stick. So I was like, honey, one other thing. Every time you clog a toilet, God kills a litter of kittens. And I'm an atheist. So, no more of that. So, despite this natural momming and femme energy you see before you, right? I got my baby box removed. Woo! She was a troublemaker, for sure. But she left behind, a reminder of her work 40 plus years in here. And I'm talking about the vagina, the penis fly trap, my panty hamster, my penis piranha, my pink taco. She's a little spacious now, right? More like dropping a meat stick down a mine shaft. Or throwing a hot dog down a hallway. Right? dropping a AA battery into a dumpster. So my yoni used to be so strong, so tight, elastic. She was like a goddamn hydroelectric dam. She could light up Las Vegas for 2 weeks. She was like an industrial forklift. She could like pick up 2x4s and like move them. She could lift pallets of concrete tiles 13 stories high. I built cities by day with this bajingo. I'd still bring her home at night and she could stir a drink. I could take her out on the town. Mm-hmm. So now she's a little more like so you guys, you know how you drive by those car dealerships and there's like an inflatable air dancer at the top? Yeah, like that. Except she's been harpooned. And definitely is not as tight as this comedy set was tonight.
I'm in awe because 43 years I have never written a vagina joke. Never. Mark, she's got a boyfriend, so. By the way, Stacia is a therapist in West Lynn, and she specializes in husky people and those with allergies to duck cheese. So, yeah, one more time for Stacia. So, actually, with the first day of class, she was so good, I pulled some strings and got her to audition for the 700 Club, and she literally killed Pat Robertson. That's why he died. So that's an added bonus to comedy. You too can write great vagina jokes by signing up at, what's the website? PortlandComedy.com. There's more vagina monologues coming later in the show, so some of you will enjoy that. Coming to the stage now, a guy I respect a lot. He's taken his 3rd class with me. I just think he's a prolific writer, is extremely funny, just got engaged. His fiance is here. Please welcome Jeff Bell, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff Bell.
I don't have one of the vagina monologues, I can promise you that. During Stacia's set, though, I actually went out and bought a new shirt from Sears. It is husky size. Fits me well, though. Thanks for coming out and supporting local comedy. Really glad you're all here. My whole goal, honestly, is to not bring the mood down. And I'm a little nervous about my ability to do that because I got something I gotta get off my chest here. And it's not gonna be popular. But I'll go ahead and give it a whirl anyway. I've never really cared for people with Down syndrome. Yeah, that's not the funny part. I'll rephrase quickly for those of you who are concerned right now. As someone with cerebral palsy, I don't really care for people with Down syndrome because all my life, they've gotten all the attention. And no one gives a shit about cerebral palsy. Be honest, if you saw me walking down the street, you'd think, I don't know what it is exactly, but something's wrong. And you'd actually be more right than you know. But if you see someone with Down syndrome, you know what it is. You probably assume that they're charming and happy and generally just having a good time because they usually are, and why wouldn't they? They've been spoiled their entire lives. While they were getting free trips to Disneyland, the coolest thing I ever got because I had cerebral palsy was half off at the local 9-hole golf course, which was pretty cool until I heard one of the managers saying it's a great deal because we don't think he can walk that far. It was a par 3. For you non-golfers, shorter holes. Pretty embarrassing, but the joke's on them because I was so bad at golf that I rarely make it past 3 or 4 holes anyway before giving up. In fact, I'm going to put that on my gravestone. More than capable of walking all 9 holes on a par 3 golf course. Sometimes chose not to. Do I sound a little bitter? Good. That's what I'm going for here. We had 2 kids in elementary school who had Down syndrome, and every single fucking year we'd throw them a fundraiser to send them and their entire families on these lavish vacations. But they remembered me once when I asked them to build an extra hand railing on one of the staircases. They even put a plaque up. It says, "The Jeff Bell, we thought he was kidding, hand railing." I was not kidding. Said that because it was only 3 stairs. So. As a side note for management here, there are 2 stairs coming up here. Pretty dicey. I feel like if I had Down syndrome, you'd have a fucking escalator by now. If you're picturing a really unathletic young boy, that was me, exactly. But ironically, I was always a huge sports fan. And I played them, organized sports, as long as I could, which was until I turned 7. But continued to play, with friends in the backyard and tried out for the high school basketball team. Actually made it, until I realized later on it was definitely a Make-A-Wish situation. Because if you help grant a Make-A-Wish, you get a sizable tax refund. So I somehow made the high school basketball team. Teachers somehow had a new lounge that spring. You do the math on that one. It was a great experience though. I don't regret any of it, but I never really got to play until we got right to the end of the year. It was our final game. We're up by 20 points in the 4th quarter, and it felt like a movie. The coach calls timeout. The crowd starts to rise. He points right down to the end of the bench at the kid next to me who had Down syndrome. Oh, what a happy and cherished memory for all of us involved. I have to cherish my own physical accomplishments because there weren't many. One of them that sticks out in my mind, right after I turned 7, I learned how to ride a bike, which was cool. Maybe a few years too late, but I was proud. Another one that's super vivid came right after I turned 18. Took the training wheels off the bike. Yeah, it was dope. It was a great bike. It lasted me 12 years. Not a lot of people know much about cerebral palsy, so for me it really only affects my left side physically. And as a result, I've developed a really interesting relationship with my left hand. And not in the way that might imply out there. Although, to tell my truth, I did once try to masturbate with my left hand, and it took me 90 minutes. I know my fiance hears that and goes, 90 minutes. Must have been nice. Where has that energy ever been? In my defense, not the objective of a solo mission, right? This is also back when I had access to a Pornhub premium account, so all of their premium categories, including one for cerebral palsy. Anybody? All right. Not really most people's cup of tea, I get it. But for me, this was great. This was like looking in a goofy sex mirror. I learned a lot. It was fun. As a side note, I gotta give a shout out to my new fiance sitting over here. She gets to hear me talk about cerebral palsy porn 6 times a day. Another part of cerebral palsy, I don't run super well, to give you some breaking news. And I realized early on I could never commit myself to a life of crime. Because if any of it is caught on tape, I'd be fucked. I've actually imagined detectives watching the footage just like, okay, we've got 3 people running from the scene very fast, right? Indistinguishable from one another. I don't know how we're going to catch who did this, but wait, there is a 4th person in the back. Go ahead and fast forward a little bit. A little bit more. A little bit more. There, bringing up the rear, just kind of limping along. I think we have a suspect. He might still be there. This video is from last week. but he cannot have gotten really far. Don't feel bad for me though. This is a real lemons to lemonade situation. I'm going to turn it into we'll call it a niche business where you hire me to come camping with you and your friends. And if that doesn't make sense, I'll just give you the slogan. You know the old saying about how you don't need to be faster than the bear, you just need to be faster than the slowest person in the group. I could be that guy. I'd love to be that guy. Put out an ad that's like, you know, are you faster than most toddlers out there? Be safe this summer. Don't leave home without your catchable camper. I'm also testing out Lovable Limper, but that one's not getting as much praise. Oh, geez. I really think, honestly, it's an untapped market, and that's my best transition to my next joke, which is the dating market. Never been a huge fan. I was lucky enough to meet my fiance at work, but before that I did try the whole online dating thing, and I quickly realized we're all just trying to hide our red flags, right? The things we don't want people to see or know about us, at least not yet. My particular challenge was, how do you hide your left leg? You know, I'm a smooth talker, and if I play my cards right, someone's going to get to see this left leg sometime. So, yeah, I started sprinkling in these fun little descriptors into my profile just to prepare potential in-person dates as to what they might see were we to meet up. And I started out pretty simple. I said I have an extra bounce in my step, which I thought sounded fun and whimsical, but didn't quite give the whole picture. So I switched it up to, guess what? I have a really normal right leg. That one led to some questions that I was incapable of answering. So I finally settled on, I like to drink a lot, so if I'm wobbly, I'm really just having a good time. And that one's perfect because it also just barely gets to touch on the whole alcoholism thing I have. I like to think of it as killing two birds with a few beers. That's my favorite joke. No, online dating wasn't the worst though. The worst was actually my first dating experience, I guess we'll call it. It was a crush I had in 5th grade, and I had the brilliant idea to write her a love note. And not some kind of a dorky 5th grade poetry, roses are red bullshit. I thought it would be really smart to write down on a note the lyrics to Angel by Shaggy. And instead of the word girl, I put her name. So, yeah, if you're unfamiliar or you don't remember the song, we're doing this. Kristen, you're my angel, you're my darling angel. And I'm picturing everybody singing along now. Kristen, you're my... I'm kidding. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do that. No, I thought I was so brilliant with that one. I brought her the note at recess. I walked up to her, and suddenly she's surrounded by like 8 friends, which didn't make it better. And because she looked down at the note, and her mouth and eyes opened so wide, I didn't know a human was capable of that, and she screamed and ran back inside the building. I never saw her again. Her parents pulled her out of school that night. So I don't know if that was because of me, but there's nothing like losing all of your confidence before you've had your first zit. It was terrible. I was actually really curious what happened to her, so a couple years ago I looked her up. Turns out she's in prison. Yeah, her and a whole bunch of friends, don't feel bad, her and a whole bunch of friends took a road trip to Washington, D.C. It was a couple years back on like I want to say January 6th. Something about that date. No, that would be so funny. I think she probably wishes that was the result of her life as well, because she's dead. Yeah, she's dead. I know, burying the lead a little bit with that one. She's dead. She accidentally shot herself in a hunting accident. Yeah, so I don't know what the lesson is here for me. I think I look back on the whole experience though, and it's pretty clear that I dodged a bullet. She didn't, right? But is it bad that the very first thought I had was, at least she didn't marry someone with Down syndrome. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it.
Jeff Bell, ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Bell, great writer, great comic. Keep it going for Jeff Bell and the Bellettes, ladies and gentlemen, going to get the autograph. Jeff's fiance is Amber, right here. Give Amber a round of applause. Amber. What's it like living with a comic? Yeah. I've been married 26 years, I can tell you. Gary said something very funny last month. I said, you should take my comedy class. He goes, oh, I've taken that class. 26 years on, you're going to it'll be a whole different thing.
Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah. Just hear scintillating dinner conversation. A couple of weeks ago, he actually said, is there anything worse than hard butter? I'm thinking, genocide? Gary is from South Dakota, and I'm from New Jersey, so that's a great marriage. His actual high school mascot was the Irrigators. True. It's a great cheer at halftime. All right. Gotta try new stuff. What the fuck? And I'm the teacher. So we have you're so enthusiastic, Mark. We have 3 more comics. They're all terrific. Please stay with us. And I'm very pleased to have our next performer because I want the vagina monologues to continue. Please welcome my good friend Teresa Lang, ladies and gentlemen. Lang!
Hi, good evening, everybody. Nice crowd. Hi, Kim. I feel bad for Jeff because he was sandwiched between 2 monologues about vaginas tonight, so sorry, Jeff. Anyway, good looking crowd tonight. A lot of ladies. How many of you are menopausal, perimenopausal, postmenopausal, any of the pausals? Raise your hand. Yeah? I am also. Super fun, isn't it? I had a hot flash just before I came on here, too. I'm very sweaty. Anyway, I had a situation with menopause that only happens during menopause, apparently. What they don't tell you during this phase of our life is how to navigate the ups and downs. And so I had a situation where I had to figure out some stuff by myself. And anyway, I found out that I had a broken vagina. And it was quite interesting, and I'll tell you the whole story, but it's also called vaginal atrophy. It's an actual condition that women go through, some women. And so when you Google vaginal atrophy, the condition is described as a time when your vagina basically loses its tone and flexibility. And so apparently the vagina is a muscle that you need to exercise. And I'm thinking, shit, I don't even exercise my other muscles. Why does my vagina need special attention? So I had a situation where I found out that I have it. And when I say I found out, I found out the hard way. I began dating a very nice man. After a dating hiatus, and the little lady downstairs had been out of commission for some time, and he was perfect. He was funny, he was smart, he was charming, successful, checked all the boxes, and the most important box that he checked was he was not a Trump supporter. That was at the top of my list. So we started dating, and pretty soon it became time when we were going to move the relationship forward and consummate the relationship. And he invited me out to his house for dinner, and he lived out in the country, so I went out there, and I'm envisioning a night of romance, of seduction, of tender lovemaking, well, it didn't quite turn out that way. So after dinner, we were canoodling on the couch, and it was time to go upstairs and start the process, and we got into bed, and as he was making his move to park his sports car in my garage, he started to make that move, and I went, something doesn't feel right. I just had this feeling, I didn't say that, I just was like, something's not right here. And I froze, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and our eyes locked. And he's right here, and we're just looking at each other. And I looked, and I saw this look of terror and confusion on his face, and I know I had the same look on my face. And then I let out a blood-curdling scream that they still are hearing in the next county. Get off of me! Now! Get the fuck off of me! And I have never in my life seen a human being move that fast or that elegantly, kind of like an Olympic athlete. He, in one smooth move, pulled out, held his junk, and catapulted himself all the way to the opposite side of the room. Chaos ensued at that moment. And he's screaming, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong? And I'm like, you broke my vagina, you broke my vagina! And he's sitting there going, wait, how? And he was so confused. And he looked at me, and he said, I don't think I'm that big. And I said, you're not. She's been closed for business, and you were her first customer. So I went downstairs to sleep on the couch under the only covers I could find, which was his overcoat in the closet. Because as a bachelor, he doesn't own a second blanket, God forbid. But I kept thinking all night long, the thoughts were going through my mind, oh my God, I really feel hurt. I wonder if I'm permanently damaged. Oh my God, what if I die? Oh my God, what if they arrest him for my murder? And then the worst thought of all. How are they going to tell my Catholic mother they found her daughter naked out in the country on some dude's couch, dead? And I just imagined, oh my God, my mother crying and crying, how did she die? And the police officer saying, well, ma'am, we believe she was impaled by a penis. Morning couldn't come soon enough. I hightailed it out of there and made an appointment with my gynecologist for that afternoon. And cut to me on the examination table, knees in the air, feet in the stirrups, her head between my knees looking down there and examining me, and her going in a very condescending way, oh, don't you know about lube? Don't you know what vaginal atrophy is? And I'm looking at her thinking, here's this 30-something perky, cute little doctor, and she probably just graduated, and she's got a boyfriend, and she's probably fucking him 2 and 3 times a week. Her vagina's getting a good workout. Mine didn't. And, oh my God, I got so jealous. Her vagina is young. Her vagina is flexible. Her vagina is moist. Her vagina is pink. And I just was overcome with the kind of rage that only a woman in menopause could have. And I lift myself up on my elbows and I looked down between my legs at her and I said, how the hell was I supposed to know about vaginal atrophy? For the love of God, that's your job. You went to medical school. And she just looked at me and stopped. And I said, was I supposed to learn from women's magazines where they give this vague description? Oh, if you're experiencing a little dryness, I have dry elbows. I have dryness behind my ears. They don't say it's your vagina. They just say you have experienced dryness. Then, how about this one? If you're experiencing a little pain during intercourse, oh my God, I felt like a watermelon being split open. After I scolded her, I suddenly realized she is a 30-something-year-old young woman, and this is the problem with the medical community. They do not give one fuck about an older woman's reproductive health. Not one. They want us, after our childbearing years, to fold ourselves up like a sweater, put ourselves away in a closet, and be forgotten about till we die. And I looked at her, and I wasn't going to let that happen. She said, I'll give you a prescription for hormonal cream. And I said, good, you better make it for the next 40 years, because I intend to fuck my way to my death. So I'm just here to tell you about that problem. And here's the thing, the one piece of advice for all my female friends, I want you to please practice and exercise and work out that muscle every damn day. And I don't care if it's with a guy, a girl, a finger, a dildo, I don't care what it is. You work it out, because we will not be taken down by vaginal atrophy. Thank you.
Teresa Lang, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a gay teacher who's learned a lot this course. Stacia got rid of her baby box, vaginal atrophy. It's been quite an eye-opener for me. One more time for Teresa. Great show. I guess the closest Jerry and I can relate is we just had our cat neutered. So he goes out at night now, but only as a consultant. So it's... All right, we have two more acts, and Nick Dudley is going to be the last act on the show. I love Nick. If you haven't seen Nick, he's fantastic. He's from the great state of Arkansas. I traveled. I played all 50 states. It was difficult to do my liberal comedy in the Deep South. I was in Pamplona, Alabama for the Running of the Rednecks, and I was gored by their sharp intellect, I have to tell you. And Arkansas was a whole different experience. You'll see shit in Arkansas you don't see anywhere. I saw a 12-year-old girl smoking in Arkansas right in front of her children. It was unbelievable. So you want to hear Nick's good Arkansas humor coming up. Joining us now, someone from my home state of New Jersey. She's terrific. I did it again. She's not from New Jersey. She hates this. She does the best New Jersey joke I have ever heard, and that's why I have New Jersey in my head. She hates it when I say that. She's from New York City. Please welcome Maytal Mark-Finley. New York, the Big Apple, not New Jersey.
Hi. Fuck you. Jesus fucking Christ, girl. Oh, I was told not to hold it here. Thanks, Joanna. Hi. Hi. I'm Maytal. I am from New York. I'm not going to talk about that today. But a little bit about me. I just turned 39. 2 years ago this weekend. So, happy early birthday to me. And the older I get, the less I'm interested in receiving like material goods as gifts. Yeah, I see some nods there. It's like we want more like experiences, right? And so some of my favorite experiences to receive are, for example, the experience of being in my bed alone. Okay, I mean not totally alone, like with my phone. Another experience that I love to receive is the experience of my husband finding me wherever I am in the house that day and letting me know that he realizes that I was right. Just some gift ideas. Patrick, my husband Patrick may be watching this on YouTube right now, so there you go. Now, if I am going to receive like a material item as a gift, lately my friends and I, who are all roughly the same age, have started to get really into shirts that have like passive-aggressive sayings on them. It's very, very comfortable. What we've found is that the older we get, the fewer fucks we give about, right? About like everything, literally everything. And so I feel this new sense of confidence just walking out and letting people know how I feel about whatever, whenever. Yeah. Now, a lot of my friends live out on the East Coast in New York fucking City, Carl. Where I grew up in the fucking Bronx, Carl. And I talk to them a lot because we all use this app called Marco Polo. You guys have heard of it? Wow! Okay, well, this is information for people who haven't heard of it. Then you guys can tell me if you agree with how I'm going to describe it. So Marco Polo is kind of like an answering machine, but with video. Yeah, okay, and so then for people who don't remember what an answering machine is, I like to say it's kind of like if TikTok and Snapchat had a parent. That's Marco Polo. We use it a lot. And so I opened it up the other day, and so maybe some of you got this notification too. It said, would you like to be an influencer? Did you guys get that notification? Oh, I'm a power user. Okay, sorry. I applied. And I did that because I really am interested in diversifying like my revenue streams because the economic climate, yeah, okay, thank you. It's a tough economic climate right now, especially if you work in tech like I do. My husband and I both work in tech, only he was affected by one of those waves of layoffs earlier this year. Frowny face. Yeah, it's been really rough. We are getting through it in, I think, a really responsible way. We've went ahead and enrolled our children in a private school and adopted a dog. And so we were talking about adopting this dog, and I was thinking as a newly minted middle-aged person that I need something like an emotional support animal, maybe like a little lap dog, someone who could keep me company and who I could give a lot of love to and get that love back. But my husband really wanted like a big dog. Oh, it's like our first family pet, like a big dog. Okay, like, you know, I think it should be like a smaller dog that's like more, whatever. But we got a big dog, so we ended up adopting this 80-pound, like counter height, blonde Labradoodle. And if you're having trouble imagining that, just go ahead and imagine if Boris Johnson was a dog. Okay, now you got it. That's our Benji. That's our Benji. And I've learned a few things about myself since we adopted Benji. For example, it turns out, and this is embarrassing, it turns out that I am the kind of person who uses baby talk with their pet. And in my own defense, the reason that I think this happened is that Benji is the only one of my 3 children who pays attention when I talk to them. And so I just get like really excited, you know? Like when I'm talking to my kids, I'll be all like, hey, Sean, Sarah, what do you want for dinner? And Sean and Sarah are all like, but with the dog, I just get near the kitchen and Benji's like, I'm so excited, like, oh, hello, Ben. Yes, it is a dinner time. Do you want to share my keto-friendly chicken parmesan? I'm gonna give you the last bite because you're a good boy and I love you so much. It is embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. And what's like even more embarrassing is that as much as Benji like pretends that he likes me when I have food, he decided of his own accord that my husband Patrick is actually his #1 favorite person in the whole world. And there's nothing that I can do about it. He is obsessed with my husband. And so this arrangement isn't really meeting his expectations either, because when we talked about getting a dog, we both had sort of assumed that this would be like my dog, but that he would help out, so basically just mimicking our parenting arrangement. Didn't work out for my husband because this dog loves him. This dog follows him everywhere. He's so annoyed, and he started referring to Benji as the white shadow. He gets really pissed off, and I feel like kind of bad for my husband because I can see that he's getting really stressed out and frustrated. This dog is always around him. But at the same time, like, I also kind of told him so. And so my thought is, as a little early birthday present for myself, I would go ahead and get us like matching t-shirts that have like a little picture of Benji on them, and like a little picture of my husband on them, and then this like little like thought bubble coming out of Benji that just says, "Ooh, I can tell that you realize Mommy was right. But I'm glad you didn't know that before, because I love you so much." Thank you.
Maytal Mark-Finley, come on. Aren't these comics great? Every one of them. Give them a round of applause. I really ask my students to start with their truth. Everyone has a different style and point of view and a story to tell. And the world is icky out there. Our place is just a wonderful place where you can have fun, and it's very affirming as well. And you can find out more about our classes where? PortlandComedy.com. And by the way, I have 3 classes this summer, so we have another showcase. Our 4th showcase is on September 17th. So if you want to see more comics, come back on September 17th. And I know you all are concerned about this. I just got on my phone and get an update on Hurricane Lee, headed straight for Mar-a-Lago. So, I've come to the conclusion that the one person who just loves Trump is George W. Bush. Because now he's no longer the worst president. You remember how he used to talk to us like we're in the 3rd grade? It's like, the hurricane is in the water. When the hurricane hits the land, there will be an emergency on the land. People say to me, when will the hurricane hit the land? When will it make landfall? Well, I'm the decider. I decide when the hurricane hits the land. I literally did that in the deep heart of Texas, and they booed me. I loved it. It was a badge of honor. Some guy ran up to me after the show and said, "You should listen to President Bush like he listens to the country." So I did. I tapped his phone without a court order. Okay. All right. Coming to the stage now, guys. I think he's been 3 courses with me at least. I just think he's an incredible writer. He's terrific. He's from the Deep South, and he'll tell you about it. But he's a good guy. Please, please welcome Nick Dudley, ladies and gentlemen. Nick Dudley.
Thanks, Paul. Oh man, what a fun Thursday night. I've never heard the word dip cheese so many times on a Thursday night. I've loved this class, but I'm kind of frustrated with Teresa right now. She stole all of my vaginal atrophy material. So I've been frantically rewriting it in the corner. Well, it's embarrassing. We'll see what I can come up with. So yeah, I've only been in Portland here for a couple of years now. Before that, I was trapped in Arkansas. Old Sarah Huckabee Sanders arraigned me out of that place. Yeah, so I'll tell you about Little Rock. there was this fantastic time I went to eat lunch with my grandma. I just want to glitch McConnell on me there. So yeah, went to my grandma's house to have a good old bowl of cream of wheat. And she's sitting there with her sweet little lapdog Putty on her lap, sitting there. Just a wonderful dog. Shih Tzu, by the way. So I go in and I sit down with, get my bowl of cream of wheat, and she just instantly just starts just pouring milk all over it, just hosing down my cream of wheat with milk. And as she's doing it, she asked me, she goes, "Nick, do you take milk with your cream of wheat?" I said, "No, Grandma. Ugh." But I ate it anyway. So anyway, after that we went out for a walk. We went down to the Big Dam Bridge. And as we're walking over this Big Dam Bridge, that is the official name, by the way, this 120-pound lab comes running towards us from the opposite direction. And it just buries its head in my grandma's crotch. Just making balloon animals. Sticking them to the wall. So as this dog just has its head just buried in there, my grandma, she was, Oh, he smells my putty. Oh, he smells my putty. He smells my putty. And I was just mortified. I'm like, oh, that's Grandma's dog. That's Grandma's dog. That's Grandma's dog. Grandma had a rape-ass atrophied vagina. What a fun night. Stacia, oh God, Stacia killed it up here. Can we get a round of applause for Stacia? My kids are a little bit older than hers. Stacia, you got a lot more about his to worry about once they get to my kids' age. I'll just say it. There's a lot of makeshift jizz rags around the house. Everywhere you look. The kids are pretty good improvisers. They mainly use socks. We call them cum socks. And it's everywhere you look. It's under the bed. It's in the closet. The other day I opened up the pantry. Went to grab a can of Pringles. And I opened it. Fucking jizz socks flew out. It just came raining down on me. Just sticking everywhere. Looked like I was wearing a cum sock ghillie suit. Oh man. But yeah, I moved to Portland for, to have some new experiences. It was getting old down there in Arkansas. I was down there walking laps around the Capitol, having to look at those 10 Commandments. I still don't know what they are. But yeah, so I did the naked bike ride the other day. Man, that was a lot of fun. Let me tell you what, I I was behind a guy. He just grabbed one of those Nike bikes, you know, like they're at the starting point. It was right by one of the racks, like one of the docking stations. So he just pulled out the old Nike bike, and I'm not here to body shame, but he was a bigger fella. Man, he put the hurt on that thing. So I was sitting there, followed behind him for probably way too long. But anyway, as the race ended up, we get to the docking station. I'm like, oh god, this is gonna be bad. But sure enough, he's stepping off that thing, and you hear it suction. Swoosh! And they're just sitting on the bike seat as I look down, just the grossest layer of dick cheese I've ever seen. Oh. So I guess I'm just gonna end with a public service announcement. If you ever go to rent a Nike bike, just grab the nearest cum sock, some sort of bag, some sort of makeshift something, and just wipe it down. Just do it.
Thank you. It's Nick Dudley, ladies and gentlemen. The official conduct of the state of Arkansas, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I want to say that my favorite joke of Maytal's is that she lives in Vancouver, Washington, the New Jersey of Portland. That's why I have New Jersey in my head. You don't know how many times I've told my friends of New Jersey. They hate that joke, but it's good. We have anyone else from Washington here tonight? Just you, Maytal.
I appreciated the opportunity to curse you out on stage.
Okay, thank you. I actually saw something today I'd never seen in Portland. I saw a car with Washington plates going the correct way down a one-way street. I will say one great thing about Washington before we end the show. I love Washingtonians because in 2012, on the same election day, they approved legalized pot and gay marriage. Good job for Washington. They were ahead of the curve. Washingtonians were just telling us we weren't reading Leviticus correctly. It says if a man sleeps with a man, he should be stoned. So, have you had a great time tonight? We have to, and this is really a reflection of our classes. They are so much fun, and I hope at some point you may consider comedy yourself. It's just amazing that they have done this well, just first or second or third time up. And where can you find out information about the classes? Oh, my Pavlovian audience, I love you. Having a hand for everybody on the show. I look at my scorecard. Hannah Miller! Welcome to Balki! Mark Friel! Scooter driver. Denny, below job Denny. Stacia Nielsen, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff Bell! The friend of all the Down syndrome people, Teresa Lang, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone loves her pretty. Maytal Mark-Finley, ladies and gentlemen, from the Bronx. And Nick Dudley from Arkansas. Give it up for my students at Future College. Come on, let's take one bow. Come on, good job, good job. Thanks for coming out to support everyone. You guys are really proud. Come on back.
My sister.